What's up guys, I'm Chris and welcome back to the Build Studio. So in today's video, we are going to be unboxing and reviewing this laser engraver from XTool. Now XTool is a brand that I've seen ads for all over the place. I've seen them on YouTube, I've seen them on TV, and I've just read so much about them. To me, I think, now from what I've heard, they are probably one of the more well-known brands and manufacturers of laser engravers. So I'm super excited to see how well this thing performs compared to the other laser engravers that I've reviewed previously. Now, in addition to that, XTool does also have one of the most powerful lasers on the market right now. Their 40-watt laser, I believe. However, in this video, I think this package is the 20-watt laser that comes with this XTool D1 Pro. So now it's not the most powerful laser, but at least from a product and brand perspective, we've got one of the more well-known brands when it comes to laser engraving. So stay tuned and we'll check this thing out. Okay, so as you can see, I have adjusted my unboxing table to include the tabletop that I build, which we've been using to unbox and review these large laser engravers. Now, because this video does have the potential to be a longer video, I will include chapters in the description section below so you can skip to the part of the video that interests you most. Otherwise, you can just watch the entire video through and through, which I would appreciate, of course. So again, this is the D1 Pro laser engraver from XTool that is golden red and also includes the RA2 Pro kit. Now that kit does include the 20-watt laser and does not have the more powerful 40-watt laser, but that's something that we may try out in a later video. Anyways, to get started, let's go ahead and unbox this thing. For a well-packaged box, it is fairly heavy, but then again, there are a lot of aluminum and metal components in there, and these laser engravers typically aren't that light. So let's go ahead and start by unboxing this to see what comes in the package. Now at first glance, I love the packaging. Not only is it packaged in styrofoam to keep the components safe, but there are these boxes where each of the different accessories and components are held. And it just looks pretty sleek. It looks like one of those Alienware or other gaming accessory game boxes. So where to start? I'm gonna start with from the right and move to the left. Okay, so this first box is a little bit heavy. It's the size of a shoebox, actually. So in this box, okay, so this looks like it's the RA2 kit. So this is the module that helps to move materials through the laser engraver, so you don't have to manually move it yourself or adjust it yourself. It automates the process a little bit. So this is that kit. And I guess this is the assembly instructions. So it does require assembly. So it does come with a lot of accessories. So let me see, I think maybe we'll just put this together last. So just looking at the parts really quickly, you do get a pretty nice set of tools and then just a lot of components. And the components themselves are not just your metal, but well machined parts. They're smooth. And they don't feel like aluminum, they actually feel like a thicker material like steel or iron, but very thick material. So from a quality perspective, the parts are very high quality compared to a lot of the other laser engravers that I've unboxed previously. So we'll just unbox this one after we've set up the laser engraver itself. So we'll come back to that. Okay, so this box is probably gonna be the reading material. And there is a image of the laser engraver itself, which is pretty cool looking. Okay, so it looks like the build plate, which we'll have to remove the protective material off of it. These are always the difficult things to get off. Anyways, I'll probably leave the bottom on because I'm just gonna use the one side. Okay, so looks like in this package you do get some sample material that you can engrave on. So you've got corkboard, you've got paper material, you've got little pieces of wood. You've got aluminum, clear material, wood, more wood. So just a lot of different types of material that you can engrave on is included in this. I will say though that this is probably the smallest engraving plate that I've received. Most of the other laser engravers that I got had big build plates on them, so you know, this one's probably comes in at the smallest compared to the others. But that's not really an issue, I guess, because eventually you're gonna have to replace these anyways, and you could just provide your own as well. So we'll just put that build material here. Won't waste that here. Okay, so that's the first box. Just put that aside. Okay, I'm gonna assume these are instruction manuals, so the XTool logo. Yeah, so all the reading material and instruction guides are in here. So you get a booklet with a number of different things that you can make. So examples of things that you can make using this laser engraver. Golden red, so again, this is the golden red model, so it's both a red frame with a golden movement bar for the laser itself. This is the instruction manual. It looks like it's the assembly guide as well. It comes in a lot of different languages for pretty much every region that this thing is sold. Okay, and then you've got a quick start guide. So again, a more detailed version for assembling the laser engraver, which is the one I prefer because I like pictures. I'm more of a visual person. Okay, so we'll need that. So we'll just put this aside until we actually need to assemble it. Take out the styrofoam. All right, and as you can see, it's this deep cherry red color, which is super nice looking. Okay, let's take this out. These sound like the accessories. So I do like that you get like a sunglass-like carrying case. I'm not sure exactly what's in it, but I'm gonna assume it's the eye protection. Yeah, so it is the eye protection, which is unique as well because in most of the other laser engravers that I've unboxed, they don't come with a carrying case, the eye protection. And these goggles, I mean, they're a little bit better quality than a lot of the other laser engravers that I've unboxed, but still a very lightweight plastic material. But the difference is it comes with this very nice vinyl and cloth glass holder as well as a cleaning cloth. So that is a pretty nice inclusion that I did not expect. Safety goggles there. And then you also get a very nice toolkit. So inside looks like it's all the screws, the nuts, bolts. You get a really nice screwdriver. This probably comes with the best quality accessories and materials. You get your micro SD card, all your assorted screws are in there, your tube feeding, your tube gears. Yeah, just everything inside this little toolkit. So probably one of the nicest carrying cases and toolkits that you get with any laser engraver because others don't come with this. And you know, most of the materials are just held in a Ziploc bag. So this definitely does stand apart from the rest for sure. Okay, so we'll just put that in there and put it aside for now. How they package this, I don't know. I mean, even their XTools are very nice and coated as well, so that's nice. Now, I'm not sure how this went in there in the first place. Okay, so nice little toolkit. Get a bunch of zip ties. We'll just put that there. This is the laser module itself. Again, just like the frame itself, cherry red. So very nice, very, very nice. So this just looks like very high quality manufacturing. So you are definitely getting what you paid for and maybe even more actually. Okay, so that's the laser itself. I'll just keep it in here for safekeeping. Okay, so we're gonna take all these parts out. Okay, so again, nice machine parts with embedded screw holes. Just feels super high quality. This is the steel rod. Okay, this is the bar that holds all the connections as well as the laser itself. And again, this one is gold, so this gold-plated material. More components with the circuit board. And I just like how, you know, everything is coded to match this red and gold theme. And I think every component is also engraved with the XTool logo, so definitely a lot of detail went into this. The button itself is also a gold-plated button, so another example of high-quality material. And then what are these? These are the legs, the extension legs, which again are also powder-coated, colored red, cherry red. It's like a Ferrari. Okay, so we'll just take all these out. And these legs just allow you to raise the height of the laser engraver itself in case you have some high materials that you want to engrave on. Oh, and I almost forgot about some other components down here. Okay, power adapter, motor belt. So we'll put that there. Everything is packaged very neatly. Power brick, Pengshen, so that's silicone or grease, and more cables. Okay, and this should be the last remaining side. Ooh, and a screw fell out of here. Makes me kind of nervous that that fell out. Okay, so I won't tighten this too much, but I will make sure the screw is secured in there. Okay, and I think that is all the components I want to say. Let me just take a last glance. Oh, there is a rubber leg. Definitely make sure you check the packaging so you aren't throwing anything important away. Okay, I think we've got everything. Okay, so now that we've got this thing unboxed and unpackaged, let's go ahead and assemble the laser engraver itself. Once that's done, we will assemble the RA2 tool. Okay, so we've secured the frame, which was probably the most difficult part. Okay, so these screws are specifically for the timing belts that you're not supposed to fully tighten, because if you do, it may damage the timing belts. So just screw them in, but don't screw them in too tightly. There we go. Okay. Okay, so we'll need this and this. If you can't put the shaft through the timing belt, the possible cause of turning the screw, okay? Okay, so we will not tighten that first. Tighten that. Okay, and these only fit in one way. Okay, so that's that. Then we'll probably tighten this knob a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to take this. Okay, so it said to cut off those white cable ties, but keep the black cable ties intact. And even their plugs are high quality plugs as well. The little connectors, super high quality connectors. Okay, and I do like how their screws are color coded, so it makes it easier for them to identify. So these are the screws with the red marks on them. So there's a red mark on all of these screws, whereas the tension belt screws have a blue mark. Okay. Okay, and then a blue track screw. So blue track screw goes into the middle. Again, these blue ones you don't tighten all the way. Okay, so this goes here. Okay, so the yellow, red, and white cables are probably the most complicated ones to get in. Okay guys, so once I set all this up, I noticed that this cable would always get in the way based on how XTool recommended that we mount this to the frame itself. So I decided to take the cable holds off, and I went out and bought these little cable clamps, which I think will make it better and place the cables out of the way so that when this laser bar starts moving, it won't get in the way at all. So we're going to try that out and see how well it works. Now basically what we're going to do, instead of mounting the cable to the side of the chassis, the inner side, we're going to mount the cable underneath the frame itself. So what's nice about these little cable ties is that you can actually clamp the cable itself and then use the zip tie to tie it to the bottom of the chassis and mount it down. But then it also pulls the cable completely out of the way underneath the chassis itself. So what's nice about this is I think this will hold the cable better and just allow the laser head to travel without the wire getting in the way. So we'll test this theory out and see how well it works. So as you can see, now that I've cable tied and secured the cable underneath the frame, it's still out of the way, and when it moves, when the bar moves or the laser moves, it just stays straight and it no longer gets in the way of the laser itself. And it doesn't get onto the print area of the bed. So I think this is a better solution than the mounting recommendation that XTool has in the instructions itself. Now, I did see some other videos where these little square mounts were recommended as well, and these could work, especially because they do have an adhesive, so it does actually truly keep it underneath. But I like these better just because I don't like to stick things on my hardware, and because these double-sided stickies don't always last very long. At least this way, I know it'll last a lot longer and won't get in the way. And I don't have to replace the stickies or worry about them having to fall off. Anyways, for this solution, if you want to find these clips, I'll leave a link to them in the description section below. But let's go and continue to assemble this. Okay, so next we're going to assemble the laser. So next we're going to install this little unit to the laser module itself. This is the tube holder for the air assist module. Now this package didn't come with an air assist, but I do have some air assist modules for my other laser engravers that I can use, and what that does is just helps improve the accuracy and the overall quality of your prints. So I will install this, but I probably won't use it for this video. But going forward, I do have some air assist modules that I will connect to this just so I can make sure I'm doing the best engravings that I can. Okay, so they do put a little sticker on top of this little module itself, which is not easy to remove. Okay, so that little sticker was not easy to remove. So we'll just tighten it. Okay, so once that's installed, we're gonna slide it in. Now this is another piece that I feel is a little bit annoying, is this little turn knob here. Because this little knob does get in the way, and in order to install it, you just need to pull it out and turn it. But you don't need to tighten it all the way. It's a nice little knob, but it does get a little annoying at the onset. And then once that's done, we just need to install the SD card, which just goes into this piece right here. Okay, so that'll be the whole installation. So I'm just gonna take these height extenders and just move them away, because for now we're not gonna be using them, because at least for this video, you know, we're gonna print something pretty simple to test out the laser. Okay, so this completes the assembly portion of this D1 Pro laser engraver from XTool. It was not too complicated, but there were some parts where I found challenging and some adjustments I did have to make and deviate from the instructions themselves just to make this thing operate a little bit better. There is still this rotary tool that I need to assemble and attach to the engraver, but for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to be using that just because our test engraving will be a small little object, so I'll probably do that later. Now, if I'm looking at this is my Iron Man of laser engravers. Now, the reason why I say that, and it should be obvious, is because of the color scheme and just the way it looks. I mean, it just looks like a piece of the Iron Man armor. So you've got your cherry metallic red and your gold look to it. So from a looks perspective, it looks super sleek and just like a piece of Iron Man armor. So I think this is well built. It's a little bit challenging, but nothing that anyone can't handle from an assembly perspective. I'm also not going to install these legs because we're not engraving anything that's tall right now where we need to adjust the height. Now, before doing any kind of engraving, you're going to need to set the height and the focus level, and that's by using this little bar that's on the side. All you have to do is drop it down and then just level this to your surface that you're going to be engraving on or cutting so that it's the proper focal height. So once that's done, all you got to do is remove the bar. And then on this side, you just make sure that it matches up to the 0 level so that you know you've got the right focal height. Okay, so with assembly complete, we are just going to move this to a more well-ventilated area, power it on, and do our test print. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so now that this is all set up, we're gonna go ahead and add this laser cutter to our LightBurn software and do a test cut to see how well this thing works. So first things first, we're going to add the profile for this laser engraver to LightBurn so we can configure and select a file for us to test out using this laser engraver. Okay, so we are now in LightBurn, and what we're going to do is we're going to power on the laser engraver, and we have it connected through USB to the PC. And what we're going to do is go into devices, and you can see that I have the 2 laser engravers that I previously reviewed on this channel, and we're going to click find my laser. So we're going to let it scan for connected devices. Okay, so it looks like the auto detect did not find the XTool configuration. So what we're going to do is try to create it manually. And let's see, I don't see it in the list of this as well. So maybe we need to, so what I did also was I downloaded the configuration file for the D1 Pro from XTool's website, and maybe that's the way we'll add it. So we added the profile manually. So let's see if we can actually get it to work this way. Okay, let's select the D1 Pro. Just home the laser. Okay, so we will go ahead and frame this on the size of this little piece of wood that I've placed in here. So you just basically put the crosshairs on the corners of the wood itself. So what we're going to do to make sure we frame this correctly is put the crosshairs on the corner of the material that we're going to test engrave, and then we're going to use this focal tool to make sure that this is the proper height. So we'll loosen that, drop it down, and then just tighten it to make sure we've got the proper height and focal point or focal height. Okay, so now we will go ahead and draw a frame. Actually, let's go ahead and open a test print file. Okay, so we're going to open a test file to engrave. Let's maybe try to resize this a little bit. Okay, let's frame this. Okay, it looks like it will be the size of the right size for the board. So we'll use this file. Okay, so now that we are all set up in the software, we're about to start our test print using the D1 Pro laser engraver from XTool. So as you can see, I did put a air filter in place to suck up some of the smoke and air that's going to be produced. And I've also ventilated the room and opened the windows to make sure that the smoke and dust is being blown out of the room itself. Now, in the future, I will be using an enclosure, but for the purpose of this video, we're just going to leave this open so that I can capture the best footage possible of this machine laser engraver in operation. Okay, so looks like it's in place, so let's go ahead and start the cut. And click yes. Now, while I'm assembling this laser engraver, let's quickly talk about the specs and what you can expect to get with this basic D1 Pro laser engraver kit from XTool. The laser module for this specific configuration is a 10 watt laser module. This is the basic kit that comes with the RA2 Pro and 8 Razor modules and has a golden red finish. Now, other configurations may include a metal gray color configuration. It also may include a deluxe kit, which includes both the RA2 Pro and the Air Assist module, and various other configurations with different laser modules ranging from 10 watts to 40 watts. Now, the price of the D1 Pro laser engraver is variable, depending on the various different customizations you choose, which can range anywhere between $660 for the standalone 10 watt unit and as high as $1,600 for the all-inclusive 20 watt high productivity kit. Now, one thing to note, XTool also does have an 84 watt 1064 nanometer infrared laser module, which costs an extra $531, which you can buy in order to engrave on plastic and all metal materials and types. Now, from a specs perspective, the D1 Pro has a routing speed of 400 millimeters per second, with a laser module output of 10 watts that can cut through a 10 millimeter piece of wood or a 5 millimeter layer of acrylic in one pass, all with an accuracy of up to 0.004 inches. Now, using the added risers that come with the kit, you can engrave and cut materials up to 2 inches high within a working area of 430 by 400 millimeters. This D1 Pro laser engraver will work with pretty much all types of laser engraving software. However, as you saw previously, I did run into some challenges detecting the unit using the LightBurn software, and I ended up having to import the configuration file manually. Now, once the laser engraver is set up and added to whatever software you're trying to use, I do like the fact that this engraver unit does come with Wi-Fi capabilities, which means after the setup, I no longer have to keep the unit connected through USB and can instead control and send files over Wi-Fi. The D1 Pro also features flame and shake detection, which is all built into a very durably built frame, which, as you can see, is made up of some very high quality metal. Okay, so the first test job is complete, and as you can see, even though I resized the size of the file, the results came out pretty clear. The laser was super accurate and super fast in completing the job. So now I'm also going to do this laser test pattern just to see how accurate the laser is and how well it does with this job as well. I've rehomed the laser and set it to a new starting position. We'll use the same block of wood, but we are going to frame it. to make sure it fits within the engraving area that we have remaining. And then we'll go ahead and start this one as well. So as you can see, it completed that job very quickly. Okay, so this is the result from the first test that I did. I will say that it turned out pretty nice, especially because I did shrink the file down to size, but yet I can still make out the lettering. And I think the quality of the laser cut and the print is just superb. The speed at which this thing engraves, I just gotta say, is pretty amazing. Okay, so overall, I can see why there is so much hype around this D1 Pro laser engraver from XTool, especially among hobbyists. Not only is it built very well, but I just love the colors that are available when customizing this laser engraver itself. Again, this is my Iron Man of laser engravers just because of the amazing colors that it comes in. In addition to that, I will say that it is very precise and very accurate and does a great job, especially from a speed perspective. It engraves and cuts very fast. So not only does it look nice, but it does a great job, and it just looks like a clean overall build in general. Now on top of that, XTool does have additional and more powerful laser modules that you can customize this setup with. And that is actually something that I'd be excited to test out, is there more powerful lasers, such as the 40-watt laser, which they claim is the most powerful laser in the entire industry. So that is something that hopefully I will also get to test out and customize this kit with in a future video. Now, if you are interested in purchasing one of these D1 Pro laser engravers from XTool for yourself, I will leave a link to it in the description section below. Now, what's nice about that is that you can customize your order and your kit based on your usage and your needs. Anyways, I do hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Again, I'm still a little bit new to laser engraving, but every day is a learning experience for me, and I do love this laser engraver from XTool. Now, if you don't mind, please take a few moments to like this video and subscribe. And please also make sure to ring that bell icon to get notified when I post new content. Until next time, see ya.